Be honest with yourself for a second. How many times have you said, "Tomorrow I'll stop scrolling on social media until 2 a.m.?" Or, "This is the last time I'm eating junk food late at night," only to find yourself repeating the same bad habit the very next day? Welcome back to Psyche Unveiled. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, psychology shows that over 40% of our daily actions aren't conscious decisions at all. They're habits. That means almost half of what you do today is basically your brain running on autopilot. But here's the good news. Just as habits are learned, they can also be unlearned. And in this video, we're going to explore how to break bad habits using simple psychology tricks that actually work. No gimmicks, no extreme self-discipline, just real science you can use today. Let's start with the obvious question: why are bad habits so sticky? Think of habits as brain shortcuts. Your brain is constantly looking for ways to save energy. If it can take a repeated behavior, like grabbing your phone when you're bored, and automate it, it will. The habit loop has three parts. 1. Cue, the trigger, like stress, boredom, or a notification sound. 2. Routine, the behavior itself, scrolling, eating chips, biting your nails. 3rd, reward, the feel-good payoff, relief, comfort, distraction. The problem is, even if you logically know a habit is bad, like smoking, procrastination, or endless social media use, your brain only remembers the reward part. That's why you feel stuck. It's not about willpower, it's about rewiring the loop. So if you've been beating yourself up for lacking discipline, stop right there. The truth is, bad habits aren't a sign of weakness. They're just outdated brain programming. Here's where it gets interesting. Neuroscience shows that habits are stored in a part of your brain called the basal ganglia. That's the same area responsible for automatic behaviors like riding a bike. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, decision-making part of your brain, actually takes a back seat once a habit is formed. That's why you can grab a cookie without even realizing you're on your 3rd one. But psychology also shows us a powerful truth. The brain is plastic. This means habits can be rewired. You don't have to erase the old ones completely. You just need to replace them with better ones. Think of it like this. You can't just delete a bad habit, but you can overwrite it with a healthier routine. That's the real trick behind breaking habits. Let's talk about the most common bad habits people struggle with and what's really driving them. Procrastination, usually triggered by fear of failure or feeling overwhelmed. The cue is discomfort, the routine is avoidance, and the reward is temporary relief. Overeating junk food. The cue might be stress or boredom. The reward is comfort and dopamine spikes. Social media addiction, triggered by boredom or the need for validation. The reward is quick dopamine hits. Likes, comments, notifications. Nail biting, smoking, or drinking. These often tie into anxiety, and the reward is a false sense of calm. When you can identify the cue and the reward, you unlock the secret. It's not the habit itself that you're addicted to. It's the feeling the habit gives you. Okay, now let's get into the part that matters most. The real psychology tricks you can use to break bad habits. Remember, habits are not broken overnight. They fade when you make small, smart adjustments that work with your brain instead of against it. So here are some science-backed strategies you can actually use. 1. Make the cue invisible. Bad habits are like plants. They grow where you water them. If you keep the cues around, the habit will thrive. Want to stop snacking on chips? Don't keep them on the counter where you'll see them. Store them out of reach or don't buy them at all. Want to scroll less? Delete social media apps from your home screen or log out every time you finish. Out of sight really does mean out of mind. You're basically cutting the habit at the root before it even sprouts. 2. Make the habit harder to do. Habits stick because they're easy, so flip the script. Add friction. If you want to watch less TV, unplug it or put the remote in a drawer across the room. If you're trying to quit smoking, keep your cigarettes in the trunk of your car instead of your pocket. The more effort it takes to do the bad habit, the less appealing it becomes. Your brain is lazy. Use that to your advantage. 3. Replace, don't erase. Here's the biggest mistake people make. They try to quit cold turkey without replacing the habit. Psychology shows this rarely works because your brain still craves the reward. Instead, swap the routine while keeping the reward. If stress makes you want to eat junk food, try chewing sugar-free gum or going for a short walk. You're still soothing stress, just with a healthier outlet. If boredom makes you scroll endlessly, pick up a quick puzzle game, stretch, or text a friend. You're not depriving yourself. You're redirecting the craving. 4. The 2-minute rule. This one is gold. The idea is simple. If you want to start a good habit, shrink it down to just 2 minutes. Instead of "I'll go to the gym for an hour," say, "I'll put on my workout shoes." Instead of "I'll read 30 pages tonight," say, "I'll read 1 page." Here's the trick. Once you start, you'll often keep going. But even if you don't, you're building consistency, and consistency matters more than intensity. 5. Use habit tracking and visible progress. Your brain loves a sense of achievement. That little dopamine hit is powerful. Try using a calendar and mark a big X on the days you succeed in avoiding the bad habit. Use a habit tracking app that gives you streaks. Seeing your progress builds momentum, and momentum is the secret fuel behind lasting change. 6. Change your environment. Sometimes it's not about fixing your willpower. It's about fixing your surroundings. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle on your desk. If you want to quit gaming late at night, move the console out of your bedroom. Your environment either pushes you towards success or pulls you back into old patterns. Set it up so good choices are the default, not the exception. 7. Practice self-compassion. This one might surprise you, but one of the strongest psychological tools is simply being kind to yourself. When you slip up, and you will, don't spiral into shame. Shame fuels bad habits because it makes you want to escape. Instead, remind yourself this is part of the process. Then reset. Think of it like teaching a child to walk. You wouldn't yell at them for falling down. You'd cheer them on for getting back up. Treat yourself the same way. 8. Anchor good habits to existing routines. This is called habit stacking. Attach a new positive action to something you already do. After brushing your teeth, do 10 squats. After making coffee, write 1 line in your gratitude journal. After locking the door at night, set your phone across the room instead of next to your bed. This works because your brain already has the first habit wired in. You're just piggybacking on it. 9. Reward yourself wisely. Humans are wired for rewards. The trick is to choose rewards that reinforce your identity, not undo your progress. If you complete a week without procrastination, reward yourself with a fun activity, not hours of mindless binge watching. If you cut back on sugar, reward yourself with a relaxing evening walk instead of a giant slice of cake. Rewards should say, "I'm proud of myself for becoming this new version of me." 10. Focus on identity, not just outcomes. Finally, here's the deeper psychology trick. Instead of saying, "I want to stop smoking," shift it to, "I'm not a smoker." When you focus on identity, every choice becomes a vote for the person you want to become. And the more votes you cast, the stronger your new identity becomes. Breaking bad habits isn't about fighting against who you are. It's about slowly becoming who you want to be. Breaking a bad habit is only half the story. If you don't replace it with something better, the old habit will sneak back in. Here are some examples. Replace late-night scrolling with reading a few pages of a book. Replace stress eating with 10 deep breaths or journaling. Replace procrastination with breaking the task into 5-minute chunks. Psychology shows that when you attach a new habit to an old cue, it sticks faster. For example, every time you make coffee in the morning, old cue, you can practice gratitude journaling for 2 minutes. New routine. Here's the deeper truth about breaking bad habits. It's not just about stopping something negative. It's about creating space for the life you want. Every habit you keep or break shapes your identity. When you quit smoking, you're not just avoiding cigarettes, you're becoming a healthier version of yourself. When you stop procrastinating, you're proving to yourself that you're capable and reliable. Small changes compound over time. A 1% improvement each day might seem tiny, but in a year, that's over 37 times better. That's the psychology of habits at work. So the next time you catch yourself falling into a bad habit, remember, it's not about willpower, it's about strategy. Identify the cue, change the routine, Keep the reward. Replace the bad habit with a better one. That's how real change happens. Now I want to hear from you. What's one bad habit you've been struggling to break? Drop it in the comments below and let's support each other. And if this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more psychology-based tips, and share this with a friend who might need it. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. And today is as good a day as any. We'll see you in the next video.